Hey everybody, we are attempting to share the Kona news via Facebook Live for literally the 10th time. That's what the subject means. We tried so many times yesterday, but we can download a movie in 5 minutes, but for some reason the signal's not strong enough for Facebook Live. So you might have seen multiple clips of me being frustrated. Apologies for those. We definitely wanted Facebook Live to be the median that we announced this news with, but I couldn't wait any longer, so I shared it via a Facebook post yesterday. But I wrote a post back in January, about interviewing to try and secure a spot at the 2017. That's what you're waiting for. Emotional Chris. I was interviewing for the 2017 Ironman World Championships, and it's a long post, talking about my story, which many of you know, but if you'll do what I'm hoping you do and share this, some people may not know it. And the short version, literally 20-second version, is in 15 to 16 month time period, starting back in late 2012, my father was diagnosed with cancer. He ultimately lost his battle in January of 2004. In the middle, my wife, who's filming this right now, we became pregnant with what would be our first child together. Isabella, a few days before her official due date, she passed away. Worst day. It was the worst day ever, and it was a rough day on my family and a rough day for my dad. I think he lost his will to fight. He, not long after his cancer was pronounced terminal, I went back to be with him, till the end came. After he passed, and like I said, January 2004, my wife was pregnant again with our son Jaden. And while pregnant, which was already considered a high-risk pregnancy because we lost our child at birth, she was diagnosed with cancer. So all that happened in a really short period of time. It was very, I don't know if surreal is the right word, but it was tough. One thing kept happening after the next, and you wondered when it was all going to end. But that's really the story that led me to Team in Training and led me to a world of fighting cancer and led me to just trying to be, I guess, a good person. Anyway, that journey led, to me doing a lot of great things, and it ultimately led to this interview process for the Ironman World Championships. And 2 weeks ago today, actually, Sarah Clark actually surprised me at my daughter's softball game. I was actually on the field, and funny story, which I won't spare much of your time now, but my son ran onto the field and told me I needed to go with him, but I was helping the girls hit, so I told him to go away, that I wouldn't be able to join him because I had responsibilities. So there's a 10-minute video somewhere of me yelling at my son to go away and letting him know that I had no intention of leaving the field. Ultimately, I got worried, probably tied to the cancer that Kriya, my wife, had, that something was wrong with her, so I started walking over, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a big banner that had my name and the word Kona on it, and a giant Ironman Marvel comic Ironman balloon, and a bunch of purple balloons for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So I didn't realize they would surprise me in person. I was just checking email every 5 seconds, for weeks. So that was a nice surprise. So this news is really that I will be representing Team in Training at the 2017 Ironman World Championships. I'm really grateful to LLS for choosing me. There were five people, I believe, nationwide that got a slot. I have not met them yet. I'm excited to meet them. This isn't a competition with any of them. I hope all of us raise as much money as possible, because this really is, a war against cancer. My personal journey is going to be a tough one. I'm not the athlete I used to be. Even when I was the best athlete that I used to be, I was average. But in 2013, when I was training for my 5th Ironman, I was in a biking accident. A guy opened his door without looking, and I went from 21 miles an hour to 0 pretty quick. And I thought it'd be a quick recovery, but the 3 years that followed were pretty tough. Surgeries, shoulder, knee, most recently posterior tibial tendon. That's been the most difficult one to get through, truth be told. So I train very differently now. I don't train to be fast. I put my ego aside, and I'm just trying to stay healthy. I'm trying to get to the start line, in Kona, so that I have a shot. Sorry. Just so I have a shot to get to the finish. I remember as a kid, I watched Ironman with my dad and just thought it was so beyond me. These people were just unbelievable. And I was certainly not athletically gifted enough to be there. I'm charitably gifted enough, but I'm certainly dependent on you guys. I set a goal of raising $130,000. There's no way I can get there if people don't join me. And I've said this in a few posts, but my story, my dad and my daughter and my wife, that's what drives me every day. But I don't want that to be the Kona story necessarily, because again, it's my life, and it's what keeps me going. But I want Kona to be more about everybody that's been touched by cancer. I want to train not just for those 3 people. I want to train if you're fighting cancer now, if you have fought and successfully beaten cancer. I want to fight for the people who unfortunately are going to get diagnosed. And I have 2 kids, and I think about them all the time. I just want a world where they will not know cancer. I just hope that one day they get to read about it in the history books. Too late for my kids, but hopefully their kids. Real quick, I just want to thank a few people. One is, my wife. I've done a lot over a period of time since I came to Team in Training, and none of that would be possible if she didn't really afford me the option or the opportunity to go train and to go coach and to go take on these great adventures. And she stood by my side for, I'm so wimpy. I'm just forever grateful to her for, looking cancer in the face twice and beating it, because I'm not sure what I would do without her. Write some notes. I already thanked LLS, but I truly am grateful for their trust in me to represent them in Kona, and I will do my damnedest to hit that goal of $130,000. I wanted to thank Dr. Dan Geller. He did the surgery on my posterior tibial tendon, and he has me in a position to have a chance. He put me in a position to be able to interview with confidence, and he's been there by my side and taken my texts and taken my calls and taken my Facebook messages to try to get me on track. I wanted to thank Repair Sports Institute. They've done a lot of rehab on me, down here in Huntington Beach. Chad over there has been unbelievable and has stood by my side. Going back in time, I wanted to thank Nicholas Kutry, because he did a lot of rehab on the Marina Del Rey knee, but where I had knee surgeries. He was responsible for really half of the rehab. And sadly, both of those guys are from USC, I'm sad to say. But I have to have a little respect for USC because they've taken good care of me. Still will be rooting for UCLA in March Madness. There's a lot more people to thank, but kind of same story at the end of We Will Find a Cure. I'm afraid of forgetting somebody, so I'm not going to thank everybody. Some of you have already stepped up to help me and stand by my side during this journey. Lori Jomsky has always been there for me. Javier Rivera is going to help me. Sarah Weston Clark, I think you're legally obligated to help me, but I would like to think you would help me otherwise. My mom, she's got to stare her loss in the face again. She's going to send out letters. There's lots of ways you can help, and I will share those in the future. Certainly financial donations will get us closer to $130,000. If you can't do that, you can share the post. You can help me spread the story. I'm trying to get in local magazines. I'm trying to get some press. I'm trying to help defray costs because it's be unbelievably expensive to get to Kona. I did want to reiterate that I don't want Kona to be about me. I just want it to be about us in a cancer-free world. And if you have anybody you want me to train in honor of or in memory of, I will do it. I have a grand plan to try to get to 130,000. I have a path halfway now, so I'm going to need people to brainstorm with me and help me close that gap, because and I said this in a few posts recently, like getting to the start line and crossing the finish line, it truly means nothing if we don't raise the money. It doesn't mean anything. This journey is not about me. I'm just the face and the name to hopefully an army of people that help make this happen. So I thank you. I'll be back. Hopefully I'll be better on Facebook Live next time. Hopefully we don't take 10 tries to get the next one out. And I'm grateful. I'll put in a comment to this post my fundraising link. And that's it. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. And we'll chat with you soon.